The first thing I remember isn't her confession. It's the sound of my phone buzzing in my pocket while I was passing the salt. I ignored it at first. Family dinner nights were sacred in my parents' house. No phones, no distractions, just forced smiles and overcooked food. But the phone buzzed again. And again. I glanced down, expecting work. Instead, it was a text from an unknown number. "Is she with you tonight?" My chest tightened. I locked the screen without replying, telling myself it was spam. Still, my appetite vanished. Across the table, my wife, Sarah, laughed too loudly at something my brother said. Her hand never once reached for mine. That was the thing about the last few months. Little absences. Small distances. Enough to make you feel lonely, but not enough to accuse someone you loved. I'd noticed the missed calls she brushed off. The way she tilted her phone away when she texted. The late office meetings that never seemed to have an end time. When I asked, she'd sigh like I was exhausting. "Why are you so insecure lately?" she'd say. So I started questioning myself instead of her. Maybe I was boring. Maybe marriage had made me predictable. Maybe love just faded. At the table, my mother asked Sarah about work. Sarah hesitated for half a second, just long enough for me to notice. "It's busy," she said. "But exciting." She didn't look at me when she said it. The phone buzzed again. This time, I excused myself and stepped into the hallway. The message preview lit up the screen. "I hate pretending in front of him." My hands shook. I typed back before I could stop myself. "Who is this?" The reply came instantly. "Ask your wife." The room felt smaller when I walked back in. Everyone was mid-conversation. Forks clinking, glasses filling. Sarah was telling a story, animated, confident, like a version of her I hadn't seen at home in a long time. I sat down slowly. "Sarah," I said. She looked at me, annoyed. "Can it wait?" "No," I said. My voice sounded unfamiliar. "Who's texting you?" The table went quiet, not dramatically, just enough to feel wrong. She stared at me for a long second. Then she laughed. "You're doing this here." "Answer me," I said. My father cleared his throat. My mother's smile faded. Sarah exhaled, as if she'd been holding something in for months. "Fine," she said. "If you really want to know." She put her phone down on the table, screen facing up. "I'm seeing someone from my office." No yelling. No crying. Just a statement. Clean. Sharp. My ears rang. Seeing, as in. She met my eyes then. There was guilt there. And something else. Relief. "I had an affair," she said. "I still am." My mother gasped. My brother pushed his chair back. But none of it registered. All I could hear was the blood rushing in my head. "Why?" I asked. It came out as a whisper. She looked around the table, then back at me. And that's when she said it, the sentence that broke something inside me. "I need a real man," she said. "Not someone who's just there." Silence slammed down on the table. I felt 12 years of memories collapse in on themselves. The nights I stayed up waiting for her. The weekends I chose her over friends. The way I learned her coffee order, her fears, the scar on her knee. "All those times you said you were tired," I said slowly, "you were with him." She nodded. Tears finally slipped free. I didn't plan it. It just happened. I stood up, legs weak. "You planned every lie," I said. "You planned making me feel small." No one stopped me when I walked out. That night, alone in our bedroom, everything hurt differently. The photos on the wall. Her sweater on the chair. Even the silence felt like a betrayal. She came home hours later. Tried to explain. Tried to cry. Said she never meant to hurt me. But love doesn't leave bruises you can't see. Weeks later, I moved out. Not because I hated her, but because I finally chose myself. The hardest part wasn't losing my wife. It was realizing I'd been lonely long before she ever confessed. Now, when I think of that dinner, I don't remember the shock. I remember the moment I stood up. That was the first time in years I felt like a real man again.